Welcome to HeroClix's HeroClix team building template, where we're going to take a look at a system I developed that helps me actually create my own teams. And I'm very much looking forward to pass on this information to you in case you're having some problems building teams with HeroClix. And I'm just going to give you some things to consider while you're building HeroClix teams. Keep in mind, this is not the end-all be-all guide on how to build a really good team. Think of this as more of a guide that will help you craft your own team with some what I think are very important elements in the game. Okay, so enough talking, let's get this started. The first and what I think is probably the most important thing that you want to remember when you're building teams are the non-negotiables. These are things that I think have to be included in every team. It's not negotiable. That's why I listed it under non-negotiables, that you just need to have this in order to have a decent team. The first one is +1 action total, mostly, of course, referring to leadership, even though I know that there are other powers and abilities out there that grant extra action to your action total. Leadership is probably the most common one, so we'll focus on that. So using this example, I got my team here on the left with Black Panther, and my opponent is very brazen and is going to attack me with his army of the things without leadership. So let's go ahead and play this out, giving my opponent the first turn. And I put the reference here, the card for reference. As you can see, since they all have the same stat except for this Black Panther, just remember that he has leadership. That's the important part. And so let's take our first action here with the thing, and I'm going to assume that all of these attacks are going to hit. So he hits for 4 against the thing. The thing takes 2, right? Because of invulnerability. Next thing coming up, we want to focus fire, so that way we get rid of 1, or try to get rid of 1. What happens? He hits for 4. He takes 2 more. Puts him at 17 toughness. Last one coming in for the charge. Let's go ahead and give him an action token. And once it resolves, what happens? He hits for 4, but he has toughness. So I only take 3. That puts this thing on his last click. Okay, now let's prep for the counter assault. I get 4 actions, whereas my opponent only got 3. So let's get started. We're going to focus fire on this thing right here. And then again, of course, we're going to assume that all these attacks are going to connect. So first attack hits for 4 with invulnerability, only takes 2. Next, the thing takes his action, also does 4. Next one up also does 4 damage. Minus toughness is 3. Puts him on his last click. And of course, taking the last action, even though this thing is on his last click, he can still do 3 damage to his toughness to be able to knock him out. And what has happened in, let's say this is the second turn of the game, we've accumulated 1 KO already, thanks to that extra action. Without it, would not be possible in use. Looking at this example that I have here, this is not an exact mathematical formula. This is just an estimate based off of the amount, if we do consistently the same amount of damage every turn with the number of characters we have left. Because remember, every turn in that example that you just saw, we're knocking out at least 1 figure, right? There are going to be some turns like damage lulls where you have multiple tokens if you don't hit your leaderships. So again, this is just an average. And by the 5th turn, let's say 5th turn after you started engaging and attacking, you look at the KO comparison. It's possible for one team, which is the opposing team, to knock out 2, where you're knocking out 4. Comparable damage, the opponent is doing 48 to 52 damage, where you're doing 67 to 71. And of course, the cumulative action comparison, which is every turn you're getting 1 extra action, and that action keeps adding up. Over 5 turns, you've gotten 20 actions, whereas they've only gotten 15. And like I mentioned, Power Woman here has an ability where it's not leadership, but she does still grant an action total. And these abilities can stack with leadership as well. So if you're playing a standard 300-point game, you add leadership, you've got 4 action tokens. You add an ability like Power Woman's here. That's you're looking at 5 actions each turn. Very important part of team building here and part of the non-negotiables. The second non-negotiable is having synergistic characters or combos within your team. And I've got 2 different examples that we're going to look at. Using the same figures, Iron Fist and Agent Venom. Ghost Rider has the Mystic's team ability, and he also has Passenger 3, which means, of course, that he can carry Agent Venom and Iron Fist. However, only having the Mystic's team ability, they won't be able to copy it. So Iron Fist's team ability, which is the Spider-Man team ability, which is a wild card, and Agent Venom's, which is the team player team ability, which is also a wild card, won't be able to copy Ghost Rider. So when we're looking at building a synergistic team, this example I have here would be somewhat of a starting point, right? Because I'm assuming here that I want to play Iron Fist and Agent Venom, and I saw that they both have the wildcard team abilities. Now I have to look for a character, of course, that works well with them. And let's look at Doctor Strange here. Even though Doctor Strange has the Mystics team ability, he also has the Defenders team ability, which means that they can copy it from him. He can still carry one. He won't be able to carry both like Ghost Rider here will, but still not bad being able to carry one character. And don't forget that he also has leadership, very important key component to my HeroClix team building template. So this is kind of like a team building combo. You don't want to use him. You want to use someone more like him on a team with wildcards. Now the situation could change, of course. Let me give you a different example. One with I want to make an X-Men theme team. Magneto here with Mastermind. Of course, Moira here, Moira X, cannot be chosen as a Mastermind target. That is part of her abilities. And nor does she have the X-Men team ability. So that means that Magneto's X-Men team ability won't be able to get used. And so they're lacking some synergy between these two figures. Armor, of course, is a valid Mastermind target. Not only is she a valid Mastermind target, she's a great Mastermind target with 2 stop clicks, defend. She can also use the X-Men team ability. Of course, they can heal each other with that. So why wouldn't I want to pick Armor over Moira X in this situation? I know this example can be a little extreme, but I'm trying to make these examples kind of extreme, so that way there's no confusion as to what it means to have synergistic characters or combos. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of 4 of HeroClix's HeroClix team building template. Don't forget that this channel is powered by your likes and subscriptions, so please, any likes, shares, and subscriptions, of course, are greatly appreciated. And remember, if the dice don't fall your way, at least try to win fellowship. Thanks for watching.